redemption. I think you think this is a tale of vengeance. I think it's a tale of redemption. No matter what, the more systems you squeeze with your fucking fists, the more of us will slide right through your fucking fingers. And your worst atrocities will come back to bite you the worst. Like him. He was the worst atrocity they had committed. And Killer, a guide to killers of the flower moon. Okay. Let's see what else he's got. I like these. They remind me of my own struggles. Sometimes I think I was very self-deluded about how bad of a person I actually am. It's so annoying. I try to believe that I have some redeeming something. Wow. That one's actually really cool. I am looking for Master Rifleman. Here we go.
The asteroid is depleted.
I want to take like all the points out of charisma, I think, but not until I have another level.
The asteroid is depleted. The asteroid is depleted. The asteroid is depleted.
Registration successful.
Finally.
Good work securing an entrance, Initiate. Have you located the transmitter?
Clay Puppington from Moral Oral? Moral Oral, man. Francis Dollarhide from Red Dragon. The Wicker Man. Ghostface from the Scream.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 153 of Analyzing Evil, featuring Ghostface from the Scream franchise. There are a few characters like Ghostface in popular...
Regardless of her methods, I have every confidence that the three of us can handle her. Moving forward, let's not waste any more time. Lead the way, Initiate.
Warning. Visitor has accessed mainframe. The others tried to shut me off too. Task failed. As will yours.
What is that, boys?
It doesn't sound good.
Task 000. Unknown user. Priority 1. Transfer method. Operating system to unit XD-55. Task complete. Please verify.
The Initiate failed to mention there was still a homicidal AI trying to guard this place.
Nothing we couldn't handle.
Yeah, I was standing way the fuck over there and I still got hit for half my bar.
This appears to be a manual console for the transmitter. I need a moment to figure out the controls. The two of you are to find the power supply and install the ultrasight battery cell that Scribe Valdez sent us with.
Right, my tablet. Forgot. There we are.
Take your time. I'll need to wrestle with this device for a while. I don't know how Scribe Valdez does it.
This way, Initiate. I believe the power supply should be in this area. Let's get this done quickly. Leaving Romani to fiddle with the transmitter as she pleases doesn't sit well with me. And she does it time and time again. Regardless of losses incurred, mistakes made. Hold a moment, Initiate. You mean to say you agree with me? Your stance is resolute. I appreciate that. I wasn't sure that anyone else saw it but me. Never mind that. You just confirmed my growing suspicion that something needs to be done. The Brotherhood of Steel is an institution built on the foundations of order, integrity, and discipline.
I like Night Shin.
We are the Wasteland's only hope for a new world. But that world cannot be built with weak links. I'll consider this more after the mission. Right now, you need to get back and keep an eye on Paladin Romani. I'll finish up here. Ad Victorium.
You look really dumb when you do that.
You have your orders.
Ad Victorium. Fucking stupid tyrant bullshit.
Did Night Shin get held up? Well, perhaps it's for the best. This gives me the opportunity to ask you something. You've been a tremendous asset to the Brotherhood's efforts, and I'd like you to continue to be one. But we can't do that with the shadows of the Elders looming over our shoulders. They're cowards. Too obsessed with preventing disaster to pave a new way forward. We'll stay rooted in place, guarding a horde of... Here in Appalachia, we have an opportunity. So let's cut free and... This is not a betrayal, Initiate. I believe in the Brotherhood of Steel. Re-establishing This is a choice that... Do you support the growth and outreach of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel under the command of Paladin Layla Romani?
No, anybody who speaks of themselves in the third person is a crazy person.
To whom our very own Knight Daniel
Skycat
Shin
knows.
vows his loyalty. Something happened during our journey to Appalachia. A mistake that cost the lives of an entire town, and likely countless more. If Knight Shin gets an opportunity to speak with the Elders, he will confess to this incident and to us breaking their direct orders. We'll have our titles stripped, our influence rendered illegitimate. Everything we worked for here will be gone. But if circumstances prevent us from establishing contact, we will continue on as a sanctioned offshoot of the Brotherhood of Steel. We will be able to spread its authority and goodwill across the nation. Is that not something worth fighting for?
Or expedition frigate class ships.
The asteroid is depleted.
Wow, they sent me a lot of fucking skins.
You must recall the Brotherhood weaponry we tasked you with retrieving these last few missions. We had claimed the entire cache from a military facility in the Midwest. It was meant to stay under Brotherhood protection until we came across a town under threat of a massacre by some raiders. We equipped the townspeople with the weapons and fought by their sides. It was the only way to give them a chance. But it wasn't enough. The raiders won. They took possession of the weapons, and they've been running wild ever since. It is my belief that we must learn from our mistakes. But Knight Shin hangs on to them. He cannot move forward until he confronts the past, until he lays our guilt on display for the elders. I say that we can, that we must, move forward on our own.
Yeah, but they're so fun.
There's a thin line between order and blind obedience. At one time, I may have trusted Shin to stay on the right side. He's always been strict, dedicated, disciplined. But following these events, he became guarded. He doesn't let up for even a second. If he continues on this way, I worry he will lose sight of why he joined the Brotherhood in the first place.
The asteroid is depleted.
Tank killer.
The asteroid is depleted.
Yes, I am responsible for the outcome of all operations performed by this group, regardless of individual choices made. What happened is an irreparable tragedy. I carry the weight of the lives that were lost with every step I take. But I cannot allow it to stop me. You weren't there, Initiate. It was harrowing. Those civilians trusted us to save them. We lost one of our own as well. Knight Connors. May he rest in peace. We disobeyed orders, handing out those weapons instead of safeguarding them. Perhaps it would have been forgivable had we succeeded, but the Elders would take this failure as proof of the danger of unrestrained technology. They would double down on the fearful conservatism I've tried so hard to steer them away from. We cannot let that happen. At this stage, the Brotherhood still has a chance to be something better. This is not about me, Initiate. This is about the people we can help. It's about the promise of a better future, one we can only deliver with our own untethered hands. Consider what's right. I'm sad to hear you say that. I cannot allow the misguided... This...
No!
To a new Brotherhood!
What have you done, Paladin?
The Elders have no hold on us anymore. Stand with me, Shin. Play a part in forging a better future.
I have every intention of forging a better future. But this is not the way. You've broken your oath, Paladin. No. That title no longer belongs to you. With your link removed from the chain, I am the highest-ranking officer present. All members of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel now answer to me.
And you expect them to follow you? Authority is given to a leader by those who support them. The same initiates who turn away from you in fear.
And I've done wrong by them. I never thought I would be in a position to ask for their loyalty. The Brotherhood must stand united. You've severed everything we rely on.
I have not turned my back on the Brotherhood, Shin. On the contrary, I will work harder than ever before to lead us forward.
It's an emergency alert from Fort Atlas.
An alert. There could very well be an attack. We need to get back to the Initiates.
I don't take orders from you anymore. Neither do the Initiates. We cannot have them confused on who to follow.
Don't you see that protecting them is more important right now? You and I will both return to the fort and deal with the alert. We can settle our dispute later.
As you say. But as far as I'm concerned, this is already settled. This way, Initiate.
Despite the circumstances, the Brotherhood needs us.
The asteroid is depleted. The asteroid is depleted.
Oh good, I'm done with this stupid quest. Thank God I'm done. This was so annoying. I remember this quest and I've only done it once, but yeah, now I've done it twice. Oathbreaker. Damn it, it didn't have the speed that I wanted. Damage is good. I should keep this and I should mess with it. It's cold tonight. Might put my jacket on. Much better. My god, that tank looks bad. It's like a child's tank.
The asteroid is depleted.
on, y'all? It is Fargas here. Hopefully you're having a great and wonderful day out there in the wasteland. Friends, did you know that Fallout 76 is going under maintenance December the 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? Y'all sit back, relax, and let's talk about it. And friends, this information comes from Lady Devan over on Bethesda's official Discord channel, and she let everyone know that the servers for Fallout 76 are going to go down December the 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now, as far as the length of this downtime, it should be about the average time, so I'm thinking anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. But friends, remember, as you do with traffic out there in the wasteland, always pack your patience, because these updates can go a lot longer than we all expect them to. And now, friends, you might be wondering what they hope to address with this hotfix. Lady Devan lets us know this will address the stability and crashing issues for the new expeditions, naked NPCs, and the inability to activate certain things in the casino. Now, they do have a note here: if your country/region has gambling disabled due to local laws and regulations, this will not enable those activators. And now, friends, personally, I never ran into any naked NPCs in this Atlantic City expedition. Now, it would have been quite hilarious to see somebody running around with a cowboy hat and their tighty whities on. I think that would have been pretty funny, but I did see a couple of NPCs like T-posing for dominance and stuff like that, not like interacting with the player or attacking, so we were just able to like run right past. But Lady Devan continues, this also addresses a background issue impacting activators in the world, and an issue that is causing some players to be unable to join expeditions since the update on December the 5th. Now, I do have a question about the activator in the world. I do wonder if this is in the same scope as the bit that the Union Power Armor was added to the loot pool. But for everyone out there in the wasteland that gets the Union Power Armor piece dropped as a legendary piece, whether you know the plan or not, none of us are able to pick that up. So hopefully we will get a patch notes or like a hotfix notes, or just an update in general, letting us know everything that they changed. But not being able to join expeditions, that is going to be a great fix, because I personally did experience that, albeit a few times, not a lot of times like I have heard from players out there in the wasteland. But that is going to be absolutely amazing to see fixed. But y'all, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to check this video out, and let us know in the comment section below, what other bugs have you noticed since this
Thank you, Fargassier,
update has come out that you would love to get fixed. But y'all, seriously, have a great and wonderful day out there in the wasteland. We will see.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. With the latest Atlantic City update coming out with the game, it has brought in some new rewards for some of the upcoming events to the game, which I'm sure a few people will definitely be happy about. The first event is going to be the Holiday Scorched event, which is returning the 19th of December up until January the 2nd. So the items that's been added is the plans for the Plastiform Candle, the Starlight, Plastiform Gingerbread, Plastiform Nutcracker, the Straw Goat, Plastiform Santa, as well as the Plastiform Santa Slayer. Then we have the Honeycomb Paper Holiday Tree A, Holiday Tree B, the Ribbon Bell, Standing Santa, Icy Snowflake, Jolly Target, and also the Paper Snowman. These aren't by any means the most exciting rewards I've ever seen added into the game, but there's a good like solid 13 or 14 there that's been thrown into the mix, and any rewards is always welcome in my eyes. On top of this as well, we have breaking news with the addition of one new plan coming in with the Treasure Hunter event. This is something that we get all the time. Like, the Treasure Hunter has got to be one of the most popular kind of appearing seasonal events that we see in the game. For a while we have been complaining that we get like no new rewards added into it. Well, the drought of no new rewards this event is over, and we're getting the plan for the golf carts. There's 3 different ones available with this skin, and they're alright looking, to be fair. And I am glad there's new plans coming in for the Treasure Hunter event. It's just a shame there is only one. You know, I've got to complain still, it is just one plan. Surely God, they could have done a little bit more with that, but never mind. It's a new plan at the end of the day. That though is all of the plans getting added into the seasonal events. I don't think there's really any major seasonal event also on bar Fashnat in the next few months up until we get the next update, so it makes sense as to why no others have been added in. That's it for today though, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.
avoid making in Fallout 76. These are some mistakes that I made when I started playing, and some of these are mistakes I still see new players making to this day. So with that being said, let's get right into it. First up, let's talk about stash box management. Now this is something that you'll be dealing with throughout the entire game, but I often see new players really struggling with this. So in Fallout 76 you have a stash box. You can store your items in here and it's a safe storage that you can access at any stash box around the map. But this does have a weight limit. Currently you can store up to 1,200 pounds. But still, this can be surprisingly easy to fill up. It's something that you'll most likely run into at some point. And I often see newer players make a few mistakes that fill this up faster. So first, watch out for storing certain types of ammo. Things like missiles, mini nukes, and even fusion cores can really add up. For example, each missile weighs 2 pounds. And if you don't use weapons that take that ammo, and you just store it whenever you get it, you could easily lose out on a ton of stash space. Also, when storing weapons, it's a great idea to take off the mods for that weapon if you don't plan on using it soon. Mods can add a lot of weight to weapons. For example, here's a fully modded handmade rifle and it weighs 17 pounds. But if you go through and remove all of the mods, you can reduce the weight. After taking all of the mods off this weapon, it now only weighs about 9 pounds. So just from doing that, I saved a few pounds with this weapon, and if you do this to every weapon in your stash box that you don't use a lot, you could save a ton of space. Lastly, always scrap your junk, especially before stashing it. This is a mistake that I made when I started out. I would just take all the junk I collected and stash it for the resources, but junk can get pretty heavy, and once you break it down it's much lighter. So just from grabbing those weights and objects in the fire station, my weight was at 770 pounds, and after going to a workbench and scrapping all of the junk, my weight went down to 253. So always be sure to break junk items down. It can save you a ton of carry weight or stash space. Next up, let's talk about public teams. When you are playing, you might see this pop up on your screen. Someone has created a team, and you can join if you'd like. Public teams are just teams that anyone can start and anyone can join. Now, I've seen lots of new players avoid joining these teams, and I get it, joining a random team of people that are usually at a much higher level than you can be intimidating, but I do highly recommend joining these teams. Most players do not join these public teams to socialize. Usually when you are joining a team, you will notice that everyone in the group is all spread out across the map doing their own thing. That's because they join public teams for the benefits. Public teams have a few benefits, most importantly the stats boost. So an expeditions team will give you extra XP for completing an expedition, roleplay teams give extra charisma, events will give you bonus XP for completing events, exploration is endurance. Then we have casual teams, and this will give extra intelligence, and this is the most common public team that you will see. Most players join this for that boost. The more intelligence you have, the more XP you gain overall, so this is a great one for leveling up faster. But lastly, we have daily ops, and this gives bonus XP for completing daily ops. The only two that I would avoid as a new player are the daily ops and expedition groups, just because when people start these groups, they are expecting to run a daily op or expedition, but every other one you can join, and nothing will be expected of you. Also, the stats boost is not the only benefit. There are a few more things like free fast travel to everyone in the group in their camps. You also get some caps for any quests your teammates complete. And lastly, if you are nearby a teammate, maybe during an event or something, there is shared XP with groups, so you will get some extra XP from that. Up next, let's quickly talk about character builds. Another mistake I see tons of new players make is that they instantly try to start making an endgame character build right away. When you watch videos or go to events, you might see other players putting out super high damage and one-shotting enemies and all of that, but honestly, don't worry about maxing out your build right away. Just experiment at the lower levels, find what weapons you like to use, find how you like to play, level up a bit, and go from there. Don't worry about picking the right stuff every time you level up, because starting at level 25, you can start using loadout machines. You can find these at train stations around the map, and here you can rearrange your stats and perk cards anytime you want. You can even save different loadouts if you want, so again, don't worry too much about perfecting your build in the early game, because you can always change everything later on. Another huge mistake I see new players make is spending tons of caps on ammo. When I started out, I made this mistake. I spent so much on ammo, and I regret it. So first, never buy ammo from NPC vendors, or these ammo vending machines. The prices are really high, and they never have a lot. Just don't buy ammo from these. Instead, if you want to buy ammo, go check player vendors. Sometimes you can find ammo for extremely cheap in player vendors. Most players sell basic ammo for 1 cap per round, and sometimes you can find vendors that have thousands of rounds. So you can save a lot of caps, and you can get tons of ammo. But honestly, I would recommend learning how to craft ammo early on. Buying ammo from player vendors is cheap, it's easy, and I still do it sometimes. But crafting ammo is great because with just a bit of time, you can craft a ton for yourself, and you can even sell it easily to make some caps. For most basic ammo, all you need is steel, lead, and gunpowder. All of this is pretty easy to get. One thing I always look for are these hanging tin cans. These are great for crafting ammo. Every one you collect will give you a good amount of lead and steel. Then all you need is gunpowder. And gunpowder again can be pretty easy to get. You can usually find some randomly on enemies and collect it over time, or you can craft that as well. You just need cloth and acid. Cloth is really easy to get, but acid is the trickiest out of all of these resources. A few junk items have it, some enemies will drop it, or you can set up extractors for it. When crafting ammo, I highly recommend adding these perk cards if you have them. Super Duper is the first. This will give you a chance to craft double the item, and if you can use Ammo Factory, this will increase how much you get. But once you have all three ingredients, just head to a tinker's workbench and start crafting your ammo. If you spend some time getting lots of resources, you can craft thousands of rounds. It may seem a bit complicated, but over time you will learn how to get these resources fast, and with just a few minutes of resource farming, you can craft tons of ammo and be set for days. This last mistake is something I see pretty often, and it's a mistake I just recently made. So in Fallout 76, when you build a camp, other players can visit that camp, you can sell things in your vendor, and some people just stop by to check it out, and sometimes we even get events like the recent Trick or Treat event, where players can come and trick or treat at your camp to get limited time rewards. Now, I had spent a ton of time building a Halloween camp. I was really excited for players to stop by and check it out during the event, but no one came on the first day. And on the second day, I hopped on, and again I had no visitors. I was starting to think that maybe I just built in a weird spot and no one wanted to travel that far. I didn't know what was going on, but after thinking about it, I noticed that my public map icon was on. I turned this off while building it, and I forgot to turn it back on, so always remember to have this on if you are planning on selling things or want visitors to your camp. I still make this mistake sometimes, and I have friends that have also made this mistake recently. It's a smaller mistake compared to the last few, but it is something I see often. And that just about covers everything, so that is pretty much going to be it for this video. If you have any other mistakes that new players should avoid making, please leave them down in the comments below. It could really help someone out. But again, that is pretty much going to be it for this one, so I would like to say thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all 3 channel members: Anton Joseph,
Want to make, but the video you gotta make. Today we're talking again about Fallout 76, which just a few days ago received a pretty big expansion in Atlantic City, which adds 2 new expeditions, a brand new season's worth of content, and on top of that you could also start a new character and just leapfrog to level 20. I was actually pretty excited about this for a number of reasons. Number one is that Atlantic City looked like this hybrid between Fallout New Vegas and Far Harbor. Fallout New Vegas being naturally one of my favorite Fallout games, and then Far Harbor being one of my favorite ever Fallout expansions. I really like the sound of this hybrid here. Seeing all the slots and mini games that you could do, while at the same time new enemy types, new assets being pumped into the game. I was really liking where they were heading. It was also some of the promises made by the developers, that they had, quote, so much content that they had to split up the release of Atlantic City into 2 parts. So naturally, diving into this major update, I was very much looking forward to it. And I'm not just saying that, because the last time I talked about a major update for Fallout 76 was with Nuka World on Tour. And it was there I said, more of this. It felt like they got the loot right. It felt like they got the weapon damage balancing right. It felt like things were heading in the proper direction. If this was a symbol of what the next update would be like for Fallout 76, then we were in good hands and that the game could finally get to the right place. Let me make one thing clear before I really get into the thick of it. Fallout 76 Atlantic City is a lot of what I was afraid was going to happen, which is, okay, I'm lowering my guard a little bit, even though back in July I made a video of me just playing the game in real time and the AI broke in front of me. I'm lowering my guard in real time. I'm stepping in. I'm going to give you some trust here that this is going to be...
Now, I don't think this is broken AI. There's so many different Scorch in the game. I think they actually designed a Scorch that's just mindless, that doesn't move.
Pretty alright. And it just, on a technical level, still isn't up to snuff. And even though there are problems I had that have been ameliorated, there are new problems. that I have to talk about. And so as this product evolves more and more, it's fascinating to cover it from before launch to now to see how still there are core issues there that have been there since launch, and the ones that do get fixed, they introduce new ones. So we'll talk about all of that today in this little review. If you're new here, you're into Fallout news, information, conversations, you're in the right place. Consider subscribing. Like I said, really excited getting into this, especially with the Fallout TV show trailer we got. Firing this game up, there was this sense of, okay, it's good to be back in the world of Fallout with something new, a place to explore. This is going to be great. Now, for those who have not played Fallout 76 The Pit, that's where expeditions were first introduced. For those unaware, you'd have to do a little bit of a quest line to unlock the ability to go and do an expedition, and from there you would travel to these new locales where it would be massive arenas, effectively, that would have tons of enemies shooting at you, you'd be shooting back at them, and no real questing or meaningful exploration. Now, the step forward that Fallout 76 Atlantic City makes is that you're still being dropped into these massive locations that are just shooting galleries and nothing more, and I mean nothing more. But on the way, you can stop and smell the roses a little bit. Unfortunately, this is where the game's design just hurts itself so much. One example is during the tax evasion expedition. It's here that you're going to be helping out a little mafioso, and you're going to head inside a casino. I'm like, all right, the New Vegas vibes are real. And you can actually play some of the slots mini games. It's not as interactive as New Vegas. We're going to be playing poker and blackjack, all this fun stuff, right? But you still got some mini games here. I'm like, okay, cool, I can get down with a little interaction. But at the same time as doing this, enemies are constantly spawning all around you. And this isn't a problem just with this section here, but the whole entire expedition. The main issue here is that it's taking me away from a little fun thing I want to do on the side for a few minutes before I go screw off and do the rest of the quest. For example, when I was trying to figure out how to do the first part of this expedition, you have to take conspicuous assets and throw them into vehicles. Now, at first, I'm picking it up, and I'm trying to figure out, do I drop it from my inventory? How do I do this? Turns out it's equipped to your grenade slot, and you have to actually throw them in there, which it looks as hilarious as it sounds, but you know what? It works. From there, though, this whole time I'm trying to figure this out, I'm like, well, let me clear out these enemies so I can, go ahead and take my time and figure out the next step here. And they just kept spawning. And when I started to ignore them, they continued to spawn. And eventually the screen is full of tons of enemies. Perhaps to make things worse, though, is that after I go through all of that, which, you know what, it's Fallout 76, it's kind of a known quantity, like, this is about how I expected things to go, and that doesn't make it okay, but, like, alright, it's sort of like having a messy room and knowing where everything is going to be within the messy room, so you're okay with the mess. So then I go inside the casino, and when I go inside there, everyone's naked, including enemies. Enemies are not engaging with me at all. I can't progress the quest whatsoever. And at one point, I held the A button because I wanted to get out of my power armor since it was out of juice, and I wanted to put a new fusion core in there.
X button.
And I literally couldn't play the game at all. Like, I literally got locked up. I couldn't even pause the game, so I had to tab out and force close the game. And this is what I mean by how Fallout 76 defeats itself, because as you'll see throughout this review, I don't have a lot of negative things to say about the content or the world space or the lore even. I think a lot of this is actually really cool. It's just that on a technical level, it's pretty astounding.
Played yourself, sucker. Played yourself, sucker.
Yet if you go online and you read the Twitter replies or the Reddit threads, the consistent argument is that, oh, it's bounced back. And in many ways it has. If you go look at my channel's history, you know I was one of the biggest advocates for Fallout 76 Wastelanders. I heavily supported Nuka World on Tour as the new direction for this series in the terms of updates. I really do think there are a lot of good parts about 76 now. I just feel we're ignoring the bad because we're kind of used to it. Stuff like this shouldn't still be happening to such an egregious extent. It shouldn't be that every single time I hop into this game, it's breaking on me. It's been unacceptable, we've made that clear, but I think to just excuse it because a lot of hardcore 76 fans are into it and act like this is the norm, this is the huge, isn't truly acceptable, and that we should be expecting better from Bethesda. Now, I know some think that sometimes I'm a little hard on this game, or I intentionally hate on this game, and I need to make it clear that, like, I'm here to try to love this thing. The reason I keep coming back to it is not because it's a content well. My 76 videos don't do that crazy well. Like, talking about more modern stuff does much better for me. So I'm going in here because I'm a Fallout fan and I love this series. And what I can compliment Fallout 76 Atlantic City on are actually the visuals. artistically, the way they've captured some of these locales, you know, I'm gonna be real. Like New Jersey, as a New Yorker, you know, not my favorite place on planet Earth, but you know, we drive through there from time to time. And when I heard that they were making a post-apocalyptic version of that, I went, well, that's gonna be easy. I'm sorry if you're from New Jersey. Anyway, in all seriousness, I was not really sure what to expect here, but from the boardwalk to the casinos to even an aquarium I was walking through, the retro futurism was real. The Far Harbor to New Vegas inspiration was strong. I really felt like artistically they captured this well, and this doesn't surprise me too much because one of my favorite things about Fallout 76 is the world space. I think the world space, the locations, the artistic direction is fantastic. And one thing that's been added here into Fallout 76 Atlantic City that I gotta give credit to is the music.
Pain is the greatest friend to laugh with.
This jazzy noir kind of theme playing in the background absolutely sets the tone for what is a fantastic place to explore, and that's what makes it hurt a little bit more. The feel, the tone, and the atmosphere are there, which if you know my love of the Fallout series, and especially my love of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, you know I love good atmosphere, right? That goes a pretty long way with me, especially in the likes of Fallout 3, which has probably the strongest atmosphere of a game I have played. And so when you can't fully immerse yourself in that because you're either getting hoarded by a crazy amount of enemies, which is part of the expedition, or if there's no breaks to just stop and smell the roses after taking out that horde of enemies, I feel like the experience kind of betrays itself. But that is what it is at the end of the day. I'm not going to argue with what expeditions are. I'm just going to fight for what I think they can evolve into, which is a little bit of both. I can't help but think while I'm playing this game how cool it would be to just have Atlantic City be this hub that you get dropped off into, and that there are new multiple quests on this map that you can go and explore, like the aquarium being this location that a dungeon is housed in, that the casino is just a home for picking up quests, interacting with NPCs, and playing the occasional minigame. And fortunately, my wishes seem to be coming true because this is a two-part update, which is part of the problem here that I'll get into. Part 2 is going to be exactly that. Free roam in a new location with some quests and also one expedition. Now, while I think expeditions could still have more exploration, Bethesda did say at the top of all of this that the reason they're splitting it up into 2 updates is because they feel they have so much content they need to spread it out. When playing this new update, the expeditions take maybe an hour or 2 each, and then you're kind of done with the new stuff. This feels like a stopgap for the main attraction, which is going to be update part 2 with the open world stuff. 76 needs a massive content drop because the last time they got that, in my opinion, was Fallout 76 Wastelanders, where it felt meaty and meaningful. You couldn't believe how they had overhauled the map, added a 15-hour quest line, or up to 20, depending on how much of the roses you started to smell along the way.
Yeah.
Since then, it's been little pockets of 3 to 4, sometimes 5-hour updates, which is good and all, but it's so far spread apart. So identifying the issue of lack of content in certain times, but making it more meaningful, it feels like they're kind of losing a window here where Atlantic City Part 1 should have been the open, explorable area, because that's starting with your best foot forward, if possible, and then adding the expeditions on top of that as supplemental content. It feels like a misunderstanding of what Fallout fans have always loved about, well, modern Fallout. It's about going from point A to point B, those distractions along the way, those NPCs, and so on and so forth. So consider me excited for part 2, no doubt about it, because of how I'm feeling walking out of part 1. But it feels like things were done in reverse here, and while I'm not going to complain about the fact that eventually we're going to get what we want, I just think for the health of a live service game, again, it's important to put your best
He's got a good
foot
point here.
forward. But I think
Yeah.
I've said enough on that front. Let's talk a bit about damage balancing, because the last time I talked about expeditions with the pit, you may or may not remember how I lost my mind over this. It was unbelievable to me that at that point in the game's life cycle, that 76 had yet to really figure out damage balancing. That this was still a major issue, that I was pumping enemies full of lead and having to reload my gun 40 times just to take out one enemy. Some people have critiqued me, your level's low, bro. But here's the thing, I think they actually listened to the feedback, because in Fallout 76's Atlantic City expeditions, I think the balancing is done so much better, not only in damage output, where I was doing these expeditions no problem by myself, which I think is
Oh, really?
an amazing step forward, but also that the enemies were dropping a ton of stim packs, a ton of ammo for the weapon I was using. It felt like it should have been all the way back at launch. It feels very in tune to what I'm playing. I don't feel scared in these expeditions to run out of ammo, and then just like in the pit, well, I'm out of ammo and I'm already in here by myself, so now
There's
if I leave, I gain
167
nothing,
psycho
and I
buffs
lose
here.
everything. Here it feels much more fine-tuned and tested.
And
Back to
92
the
a
critical
pop.
front, though, the writing. 76, you know, you don't go for the best writing, but since it's the current only
That's
standing
1,000
video game
caps.
representation for the Fallout franchise, I hope that we can get back on track here. Is it cool to have a not voiced protagonist? Yes. These characters just aren't clicking. You'll meet interesting ones like the twins at the boardwalk, and these twins are kind of interesting in how they use the stealth boy to attack you, and you're participating in a game where they're looking for a set of rivals. Like, the setup is actually pretty cool here, but the dialogue and the delivery of such just doesn't click fully with me like I hope it would. And I feel like that's because in these expeditions, it's centered around a small cast of characters, unlike what you love about a Fallout game where you'll be roaming a locale, and even the most random NPC can have an interesting story to tell, or the favorite story that's told to all of us is the location you explore, the lore you find within it. So Atlantic City does present a lot of pros, and I think especially as a new player, the fact that you can just hop in and scale up to 20 and kind of get right into the thick of things is partially an admission that the early game of 76 kind of stings, but also a great quality of life enhancement that I am not going to sit here and tell you is a bad thing, because I think this is a good step in the right direction. That said, the AI still breaks frequently, and you'll see multiple times here the occasional T-pose, enemies not interacting with me properly or even attacking me. I mean, the fact that I did this whole inconspicuous asset delivery section of the mission while I had probably 12 enemies surrounding me and not just shooting at me at all, but just following me, is a testament to how busted the AI in this game still is. And if you keep up with my coverage, you saw back in July that things are still looking pretty rough in that department. And not to drag Starfield into this, but this was one of my main complaints about that game when I reviewed it, that Bethesda's handling of AI needs desperate improvement. And so yeah, Fallout 76 Atlantic City still has a lot of those core issues, but as I mentioned at the start of all this, it introduced a host of new problems. But I have to say this, when I walked away, I wasn't like, oh man, that stunk, that was disappointing, I'm mad here, as I'm sure you can tell by my tone with this. It's more like an encouragement of, hey, like, you're close, you're very, very close, and I hate to be that guy and say, like, not close enough though, because I know part 2's on the way, but I just feel like you're almost there with these ideas. I feel like expeditions are there, and what my big fear is that without a shadow of a doubt, based off the leaks, one of these expeditions is going to take us back to a place that we are very familiar with, like your Capital Wasteland, your Commonwealth. It's going to do the nostalgia grab, the Mojave. They're going to do it, no doubt about it. There's too much money to let that go. So this is why now with Atlantic City Part 2 and whatever's up next, I just hope at first, mind you, I know
Wow, I
this is
reduced the
coming
weight
regardless
a
in
lot.
Part 2. I
Fucking
hope
sweet.
at first, though, Bethesda makes this more open and more explorable and uses the expeditions as additive-based content, because I can see some hopping in and going, oh, it's just a little mission and that's it, I'm out. And now you've lost a potential new player because they thought they were getting Atlantic City and they got an expedition, which is just a shooting gallery, when if you gave them actual open world exploration like you're doing in Part 2, that would have been better. If this means that these two expeditions and the quality of life enhancements get delayed until that's all ready to go because it's not ready right now, that's fine. 76 had a pretty barren year. I don't know if a couple of months would actually kill things if you waited till, say, around the Fallout TV show to drop this update, where then you get a huge surge of players with one of the most meaningful updates in the game in years. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I leave it to you. Have you played Fallout 76 Atlantic City? If so, what are your thoughts on this expansion? Do you feel it's in the right area? Do you feel like there were other quality of life improvements that overshadowed your complaints? Or were you disappointed? Let me know down below. Other than that, take excellent care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time around. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. And a big thank you to all the patrons, all the members, who continue to support the heck out of the content here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.
Yeah, I think we're pushing the end cycle of Fallout 76 too.
Bethesda feeling mighty
Thank you, Mr. Matty Place, for the excellent content from a stream. I'd like to sub to your channel.
talkative this week. It seems like they're doing some last-minute rounds before the holiday break. This was a bit of feedback that we gave them in the last couple of videos. We said, Bethesda, just use this, use your mouth, just talk a little bit, and we need to know what's going on with some of these things. Just talk to us, let us know what's happening, and I think there'll be more understanding. And would you look at that, some of the community feel a little more upbeat lately. We have an idea of what's to come for Fallout 4, what's to come for Starfield, and especially Starfield. I'm excited to get into that today. We also do have some sour news today when it comes to the modding situation surrounding Starfield that I think is important to shine a light on. We'll talk about all of that in today's video, though, so if you're new here and you're into Bethesda news and information across Fallout, Starfield, Elder Scrolls, you already know the deal. Please consider subscribing as well. Oh, wait, okay. Let's start off with the Fallout 4 Next Gen update. There's been so many question marks surrounding this one. Where is it? What's going on? Why isn't it out yet? Many people are thinking, hey, it's just some bug fixes, improved frame rate, improved visuals, some bonus Creation Club content that already exists, right? That's it. Okay, so why don't we have it yet? They promised it in 2023. It was even being asked about leading into Starfield's release date. We got that reply from Pete Hines that pretty much said, like, hey, bug off. We are working on Starfield right now. And as the year progressed, it looked increasingly unlikely that we were going to get the Fallout 4 Next Gen update this year. And many of you already know.
Yeah, I was like, where is that? You said it would be summer.
And get into it some more.
I want to do Fallout 4 next gen. I bought Fallout 4 for it.
Thank you for your patience with us as we work on the Fallout 4 Next Gen update. We know you're excited, and so are we, but we need a bit more time and look forward to an exciting return to the Commonwealth in 2024. So naturally, with the long wait here, they announced this at the end of 2022, might I add. They took a full year to work on it. Now they're delaying it to 2024. You know Bethesda fans, right? The expectations went from here to what the update's actually going to be to up here because, they're taking more time now. They got to be packing this full of content. Well, that actually might be the case for how this is developed. The reason for the delay is obvious. If they have an ability to capitalize on a new player base that is going to be excited about Fallout, what is going to cause that surge of new players other than the Fallout TV show, which is coming out April 12th is the first episode, so I imagine the week beforehand, we will get news of a Fallout 4 update on the way, or maybe even dropping that same day. No doubt in my mind, Bethesda is timing this out with the release of the Fallout. Why do they want to do that? It's not just about player count. I think it actually boils down to what we just saw happen with Skyrim. Skyrim got the addition of creations, and I always say Skyrim's the test bed. Whatever happens at Skyrim is going to happen to pretty much every future Bethesda game, barring a couple of examples, like the amount of re-releases I think is a very Skyrim-specific thing. Whereas Fallout 4, I think, is going to get creations, and that's where I said some new stuff may be coming in, and the player count that would be surging from the TV show undoubtedly would benefit Bethesda. Why is that? Let's call it as it is. Creations, basically paid mods. Bethesda's really crafty form of microtransactions in a single-player game are here. And they're not just going to limit to Skyrim. They're going to bring it to Fallout 4. And I have no doubt in my mind they will bring it to Starfield. So when I take a look at this Fallout 4 Next Gen update and the reason it's taking so long, timing it out with the Fallout TV show undoubtedly, I think this is what's happening here. You want to have creations be put in at the same time as what's happening with the Fallout 4 Next Gen update. You You want all that to time out with when you're going to have the maximum amount of players jumping into your otherwise pretty old game that came out in 2015. This is your first chance for some real traffic, and I do think, and I'll talk about this in a future video talking about the future of Fallout, this may be the beginning of a new era for the Fallout franchise with just how much content is going to start coming out around the Fallout TV show. But no doubt this symbolizes that Bethesda is expecting a lot of people to show up, and that means they must have some degree of confidence in the TV show, or at least that, or they're just trying to prep themselves in case they have the benefit that CD Projekt Red had, where, you know, Edge Runners really blew up Cyberpunk to a whole other level. So we'll see what happens. Maybe there's some tie-in content to what's happening in the TV show. I mean, it's only about, what, 8 years after Fallout 4, so they're pretty close in the timeline where maybe they could add some content in from the show. I'm just thinking of that on the fly. I didn't have that in my notes here, but just came to my head is like, well, that'd be kind of cool if they did that. I think that would lead to some purchases. So that's what I'm trying to think of here. I'm not advocating for it. I'm trying to think, okay, if I'm a business mind and I'm trying to drive purchases in this new system, how do I do that even if someone's playing Fallout 4 for the first time? It's like, oh, TV show content. Right. So we'll see if they end up doing that, but nonetheless, Fallout 4 Next Gen update, expectedly delayed, especially now we're here at the end of 2023. We all knew this was coming, so now we have that answer. We also have an interesting update on Starfield. This came via the Bethesda Game Studios Reddit account, where they posted the following message in a thread. They said, hey everyone, first, we read all the feedback here and greatly appreciate it and all the time and thought you put into the game. This small update was to mostly address the pet asteroid so many asked about following our last larger update, and we wanted to get that out before the holiday. We've been hard at work on many of the issues you've posted and expect an update early next year that will include a large number of in-progress quest fixes as well as FSR3 and XESS. Though we've fixed several quest issues from occurring, in-progress quest fixes are much harder to fix, and we've built a new system to correct those without you having to roll back your save. We're also hard at work on many of the new features you've asked for, from city maps to mod support to all new ways of traveling. Stay tuned. These will be rolling out with a regular cadence of fixes and updates we expect to have roughly every 6 weeks. If something can be done in a smaller hotfix in between, like the asteroid, and we feel it's safe, we'll get one of those out as well. Safe is the key here. We do take a lot of time to test even the smallest change in the game this large and dynamic. A lot of promises in here, and the comeback could be crazy if nailed. The big feature standing out to me before I get into anything else is this new way of traveling. I know the immediate thought for all of us is, oh my god, are they going to fix the exploration in Starfield? That's been the biggest complaint on this game, is absolutely how they handled space travel and how they've handled on-the-ground travel. And I don't know if this means they're going to pepper in new locations on certain planets. I don't know if this means they're going to figure out a way for you to actually fly around the solar systems, so there's a little bit more of dynamic events and a little bit more actual travel going on. It's less of an interactive loading screen. I don't know what string they're about to pull here. If I were to wager a guess, though, I'm going to go with the safe option here, and the option that would not excite many of us, but also kind of solve one of Starfield's on-foot problems, which is going from point A to point B takes far too long. Todd Howard really leaned in like, you have the jump pack, bro. And I was like, that thing ain't fast enough no matter what I do to it. There's nothing happening in between, so let me get there a little quicker. I don't know if it'll be this, but I've always speculated that with how much mech lore is in Starfield and with how much building components we have seen in Starfield already, I feel like the ability to build your own mech that kind of you can take out of your ship and travel on the ground, I feel like that would be a really fun way to play the game. Getting from point A to point B quicker, getting into those gunfights more, may make some of the exploration a little better, give it a better flow for when Shattered Space comes around and we get that more meaningful expansion, which hopefully solves a lot of the game's problems. We'll see. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket here, though, unfortunately. I don't think just one update will solve this otherwise massive design issue in Starfield. However, what you should be excited about, in my opinion at least, is an update almost every month, and a meaningful feature almost every month is seemingly what's being promised here. Like, we're going to have these out every 6-ish weeks, which I think is excellent. I think that's a great starting point here to get an idea of when to expect hearing from Bethesda. And I personally, as I've said before, am excited for the future of Starfield. Of course, we knew mod support was coming, but I hope what this means is that at the tippy top of 2024, Bethesda does give us a earnest roadmap of when to expect everything. We already learned through the leaked Bethesda schedule that they're going to be providing Shattered Space 1 year after Starfield, so I would say it's probably pretty safe to expect Starfield's big expansion in late 2024, maybe early 2025, since the game has had so much feedback to account for before they go into that. I'm curious how they fold in needed features, needed updates into the expansion versus just dropping them as free updates throughout the year. We'll see, but nonetheless, Bethesda...
Fallout 4 is about to change forever. And when I say that, I mean not only the vanilla game experience, but also all of your mods. As for those of you that don't know, Fallout 4's Next Gen update, which was announced over a year ago at the very bottom of Bethesda's Fallout 25th anniversary article, is actually expected to drop sometime soon. But this is where things get weird. The only official details from Bethesda was back on that article from last year, meaning all we know is it's a Next Gen update, it's coming in 2023, the update itself is free, it's releasing on Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and PC, and includes, in quotes, performance mode features for high frame rates, quality features for 4K resolution gameplay, bug fixes, and even bonus Creation Club content. So if that's all we know officially, why am I making this video? Well, some of you may remember 8 months ago some very sussy activity going on with Fallout 4's developer testing builds viewed via SteamD. Bethesda, either accidentally or intentionally for teasing purposes, added 2 new builds. One being named Beta 2, something inconspicuous that was added March 14th, 2023, and the other being named New Vegas 2, which was added April 4th, 2023. Not exactly very subtle, and too late for an April Fool's joke, so obviously something New Vegas related is coming. Unless Bethesda are some of the biggest trolls on the planet, which knowing Todd Howard, maybe. But we'll touch more on New Vegas 2 and what that could mean in a moment, as a day after the New Vegas 2 build was added, Bethesda quickly removed it. A week later, on April 10th, they then pulled the Beta 2 build as well. And stick with me, as I am going somewhere with this. If we fast forward to April 19th of this year, Bethesda then added the De Jericho build for Fallout 4. And since that build was added, it has been updated essentially every day like clockwork, rarely missing any days for about 7 months. Which is why 22 days ago seems to indicate a release is closing in. As not only did we get a change to the legal lines for Fallout 4, but the De Jericho build stopped receiving updates entirely and hasn't received any updates since. This is a change in a 7-month-long pattern, which indicates something is likely happening sooner rather than later. And with the Game Awards being just over 2 weeks away, I'd say it's a pretty safe bet that we'll be hearing about Fallout 4 Next Gen at or around the event. As unless Bethesda has decided to delay this update to coincide with the release of the Fallout TV series next year, then this update is still set for this year and only has a few weeks left to be revealed and released. And whether it's delayed to next year or not, I'd say revealing it before the end of the year with full details is what would make the most sense either way. Just as I'd expect a trailer for the Fallout TV series to drop sometime soon as well. And with this update taking so long, Bethesda refusing to comment on it, and the appearance of the New Vegas 2 build on Steam, I'd say it's safe to say that it's going to be a pretty sizable update. Whether it's going to be worth the wait or match some of the ridiculous expectations, as some are expecting a Witcher 3 level next-gen update, we'll have to wait and see. And while I don't think we'll be seeing anything like ray tracing, backporting the Fallout 76 render, or the likes, considering not even Starfield has ray tracing, I do think things like an uncapped frame rate on PC, DLSS, and FSR are feasible for this update to make it more worth it for PC players. And I do honestly think that some performance and visual upgrades will extend across platforms, rather than it just being some higher settings than on last gen for consoles. But I want to be clear that I'm not expecting anything dramatic. I don't think it's going to be anything like The Witcher 3 next gen. And obviously there's always the off chance that PC might not see much of a benefit at all from this update. As for the bug fixes though, there are a lot of bugs Bethesda Game Studios could tackle with this update. So until I see a list, I'm not going to get really excited for that one, but I would love to see them address some PC-specific bugs in particular, such as the God Rays Off option being broken in the launcher, something that has been broken since launch and they've been aware of, and also in the more recent years, the weapon debris effects causing the game to crash, and yes, there's a mod for that. As for the bonus Creation Club content, all we know is that they've been working on the upcoming content for a long while now, so I'm expecting there to be a bulk of new creations, likely ranging from smaller content additions like we've been used to, like weapons and armor, to more sizable quests and area mini DLC, which we have actually seen in the past for both Fallout 4 and Skyrim's Creation Club. The question a lot of people have though, and something I mentioned we would come back to earlier in the video, is whether the New Vegas 2 build has anything to do with Creation Club content. And this is honestly where I'm stumped. I don't even know what to think of this New Vegas 2 build. But just to clarify, the 2 in New Vegas 2 is likely a build version, just like Beta 2, not an indication of some sort of sequel content for New Vegas. And this is where the unhinged part of me wants to say it's related to something bigger, that being an official New Vegas remake that they're testing a build of. But the more reasonable answer is New Vegas related creation content. Now this could make a ton of sense. Bethesda has introduced New Vegas content to Fallout 76 before, and New Vegas content is something that would probably sell pretty well on Creation Club. This is where I have to question though. Why would they have an entire build of the game specifically for one piece of Creation Club content? That is not something they've ever done before, not for Fallout 4, not for Skyrim Special Edition. So this is why my brain wants to get unhinged and talk about a New Vegas remake. But if it is Creation Club related, I'd say it either has to be something more sizable than what we're used to, or it's going to be a whole theme of New Vegas content. An example being something similar to the Capital Wasteland Mercenaries creation, which added a small world space at the GNR station from Fallout 3. So what I'm thinking is we could see a creation that adds the New Vegas Strip, for example, alongside some additional New Vegas related content as a way to spice things up for Fallout 4's Creation Club offerings. Either way though, speculation aside, we know something is coming New Vegas related, and it's probably not my unhinged thoughts, so I'm definitely looking forward to the reveal of this next gen update. That being said though, whether this update is good, bad, or absolutely amazing, knocks our socks off, it is going to come with one potentially major and worrisome side effect, as if you mod Skyrim, that I'm sure you can recall the release of the Anniversary Edition and how it broke hundreds of mods and caused issues with the game for several months. And unfortunately, the same might occur with Fallout 4's next-gen update. Not only will this update in general break F4SE, that being Fallout 4 script extender, and all of the mods that require it, just as every update does, which isn't necessarily a huge deal.
So that's what happened. That's what happened. MVSC broke, and so did F4SE. And all of the mods that require it broke, and I lost my save. And I should start a new one, and God, I don't want to do the Skyrim opening again, but all I really want is like that I like that combat system. It's actually fucking good. It's like actually good. Like the combat system
address library, but this update could also do just as much damage as the Anniversary Edition, if not more, as Fallout 4 could be compiled using a newer version of Visual Studio with this update, just as we saw with the Anniversary update for both Skyrim and Fallout 3. If that's the case, then F4SE and F4SE plugin mods would require partial or full rewrites,
which fucked me. I lost my save. I didn't know.
In order to get a more educated answer,
that's why I'm watching this video.
I'm just a content creator. I'm not a mod author. I also went ahead and hopped into the Script Extender RE Discord to ask for what kind of havoc this update could result in, and I got replies from Gluxrum, creator of several great F4SE plugin mods, Vishvadiva, most recently known for the Community Fixes Merged, Shadowshade, creator of the Baka mods, and Nukem, one of the RE devs and admins. And according to them, all people who know this stuff far better than me, obviously, noted that this update could either be like any other update and not break much, or it could wreak absolute havoc on mods. Not just with
I get the feeling I might be just as good as these boys, which is weird. They don't impress me. That's usually like like kind of a rare thing, because it's like usually most people know whatever they do all day a lot better than I do. But I don't. And I've trained myself to look for this feeling and really pay attention to it. When it feels like they might know exactly as much as I do, I've set like a trigger to set off in my brain like an alarm, because it's like these modder boys, they don't sound like they know much more than I do.
But also,
which is weird, and I think Bethesda in a way did monetize all those people.
This update changes a core class, optimization settings, or refractor code. Their best guess was that it won't be that big of a deal, but there's always the off chance that it will be. Of course, if this is some game-changing update that backports the Fallout 76's renderer and all that goodness, very, very unlikely by the way, then mods even beyond the script extender would be broken as well. Again, if any of that does end up being the case, just as we saw with the Skyrim Anniversary Edition, some highly loved mods might only take days to update following the update of F4SE, of course, but others would take weeks, others would take months, and others would never be updated, as some mod authors may no longer be active in the Fallout 4 modding community or have moved on from modding entirely, many with strict permissions on their mods. Some of those mods might even be vital frameworks that hundreds of other mods depend on, just as we saw with the dynamic animation replacer for Skyrim, which took several months to be updated for the Anniversary Edition. And just to give you an idea of the amount of mods that depend on F4SE, many of which being F4SE plugins, you're seeing me scroll through the trending list of F4SE mods
so annoying, dude. I put my heart and soul into that fucking Skyrim playthrough. All the mods and all the way that I played and how I leveled and even the mods I chose and everything. And pretty much to the day that I retired it, they completely fucking broke the foundation on the mod work anyways. All that work I did, for some reason, was the day before they broke the mod structure. Which is so like me. That's so like what my life is actually like. Why is that not working?
Hey, 7-6! I really...
Oh my god, did you glitch this quest? You better not have. You did. You glitched this quest. We're just gonna fucking start. We're gonna start over. Piece of shit. God damn it. Oh, you quit the desktop, did you? Yeah, of course you did. Alright, did we warp? No, I need you to warp.
Warp drive active.
Oh, you're gonna redo it? Yeah, we'll just restart the quest, though, because you are glitched, though. No, I need to leave the world. You bow me to the world.
now, and I bet you have at least one of these installed. Heck, maybe you even have one of Galextrum's.
Yeah, see, what I want is a Skyrim install that stands the test of the ages that I can come back to for the next 5 years. And I think that means narrowing down to like 5 mods. Just the unofficial patch, the achievement patch, the combat generator, the ordinator perks one, and that's it. And then run it on survival mode and start over. Son of a bitch, man. Who pays me for that time? No one. Nobody cares if you just throw 200 of your fucking hours of your fucking life away on some Skyrim save. I don't know really why that's legal. Why is it legal for them to just... Invalidate a 200-hour save. Jesus fucking Christ. Man.
All right, everyone's here. Y'all ready to rock this joint?
You know me, Meg. I'm always ready.
Except when you ain't.
Harsh, Meg. That was one time.
One time? What happened?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Less talk. Gun heavy. Need to unload bullets into something and make lighter.
Gale's right. Let's get a move on. Just give Lou the word when you're good to go, 7-6.
Ian's ready or what? You got it.
Why did I get a... Ooh, oh, that's not good.
Damn, Lou. Good hit. Was the cleanest break yet. All right, Johnny, Gale.
1 damage.
Rah-rah too. Not leaving
Let's go. 7-6. Can I talk to you real quick? I gotta stay here and guard your butts till I'm confident we're in the clear, but I got an important request for you. With Johnny asking for such a big cut, I want you to keep an eye on it. You let me know if he doesn't pull his weight. If he wants to keep his value, he's gotta earn it. Thanks. Okay.
Door's shut tight. See if you can open it remotely. Maybe there's a terminal somewhere. We'll guard in case anything's on the other side.
Gale ready to destroy more robots.
Gale's the best at destroying robos. Johnny! You're okay at it, I guess.
Hey, I'm pretty damn good at it. I just don't have a giant minigun like Gale does.
That sound like excuses.
Okay, fine. Give me the minigun, and I'll show you.
No, you too weak. You just drop it and make it break.
You're just afraid I'm right.
Well, I think you're both right.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Now Gale think Rara is right.
Warp drive active.
He's starting to get mad. We should stop messing with him.
I'm not getting mad. You know what? I'm just gonna stand here and...
You sure you strong enough to do that?
Yeah, laugh it up, kid.
Be clear though, this is only meant to serve as a heads up. not a doom and gloom, as whether this update breaks almost nothing or breaks absolutely everything, I'm sure we'll get a downgrade utility for temporary usage, and I know the Fallout 4 mod community will recover just as the Skyrim community did, especially given how active the Fallout 4 mod community is. I just like preparing people so they're not caught off guard by an update that breaks everything, and if they are,
it broke everything. It broke everything.
Of course, there is one great way to avoid
it broke all of my fucking installs.
To spare, as Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition is less than $10 on GOG right now, meaning no DRM,
yep,
no forced auto updates, and version rollback. It also doesn't include the Creation Club feature, so unless you're wanting the Creation Club content, that might even be a bonus for you. And hey, if you plan on picking up Fallout 4 or anything else on GOG, especially during the Black Friday sale, and want to support the channel in the process, you feel free to use my partner link at the top of the description. So there you have it. Fallout 4 is about to change forever, whether you like it or not. As for when that will be, we have no idea. As for what all is changing, we have no idea. As for how screwed the modding community is, we have no idea. I hope you enjoyed this insightful and thought-provoking video. I'll of course be covering the next update in detail the moment we get an official reveal, but when will that be? We have no idea. In the meantime, if you'd like the nether video from the numbers next when you check out my video from yesterday on screen, it's actually on The Witcher 3, a game we don't really cover enough here. But if you prefer to embrace YouTube's stalker vibes, you can always click the other video. But that's it for this video. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time, this is Epoxy, signing off.
I have no balls. Wow. Why did the ammo get so fucked up? Come on, man. So annoying. I think this is better. So annoying. Ugh. Oh no. Oh no. No, no. You glitched and wasted an hour of my time again. Nice. Cool. Thanks. Oh my god, how many times are you gonna... This mission is my own personal hell. You know how much time this particular mission has stolen from me? It's like 40 hours. Across 3 different versions of the game and all this. This particular mission has stolen like 40 or 50 hours of my life. Just one quest. If I met the designer, I would physically punch them in the face. No problem. Which is why I probably don't belong in this industry, you know? I don't think I've been harmed. I'm sorry, I don't think anybody's been harmed by this industry as much as me. God damn it, man. How many times are you gonna make me do this fucking mission? Just this week, it was like 35 times. Just for the intro. Glitch, 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 glitch. Just over and over and over again. It's fine. Oh my god, man. How many times are you gonna glitch this fucking mission on me? I need to get past it. Hurry up, you. This mission is my idea of hell, and I knew you were going to trap me in it for at least 10 days of just retry, 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 retry. And if I hadn't been through this 40,000 times in 40,000 other different places and 40,000 other fucking Bethesda games, I wouldn't have the wherewithal for this, but I do. I'm so used to the Bethesda anal torture and abuse and scar tissue. My anus is torn from the 25 years of loving Bethesda. It really is. And watching me do this quest over and over and over and over and over again is a pretty good way to lose my sanity, I'd say. But it's happened to me so many times in my lifetime that I know I've just got to get over it. Sooner or later, I'll come back 2 years later and I'll still bang my head against it until I'm done. It's like the house puzzle or something. It's like when House solves a puzzle. I will not let a piece of shit developer fucking stop me from succeeding. I will not. I'll punch him in the fucking face if I ever see him, but I will not let a fucking piece of shit cocksucking developer get between me and my fucking goal. I've never let it, and I never will let it happen. I will not let some cocksucking fucking developer get between me and my fucking goal. I will hack the game first if I have to. I don't care. You guys aren't used to the abuse I've received over the 50,000 titles. I mean, I don't care. I'll do what I have to get past that quest. I don't care. They're obviously not going to fix it. So... And, yeah, Wobatai, the developer that ever enters the same room as me. What's this now? Oh, some kind of credit for something? Okay. Like, Wobatai, the Bethesda developer that ever steps in the same room as me. Same, all those developers, Squaresoft or any of them. Wobatai, the developer that enters the same room as me. Because, you know, I won't open swinging. I'll say why first. I'll say why first, and then I'll commence the swinging on them. This is for buried treasure, and I'm gonna sock him 4 or 5 times in the face pretty hard. No regret, no shame. I've never felt shame in my life before. But I mean, I do. I felt shame in things, but like I've never really felt shame about my own decisions and stuff. But I know for real that I'd really like to sock the developer. Maybe Todd or whoever, I don't care, somebody that represents it. I'd like to sock the developer that made this quest in the face 5 times. No hesitation. You can cancel me over it. You can quote me 20 years from now. I'm not going to feel shame 20 years from now. I'm going to be a better person in 20 years and a lot less like angry and abused by developers. But I mean, in 20 years, I'm still going to feel the same way. Yeah, in 20 years, I'll still want to sock the guy who developed this quest in the face. And I'll tell him why first, but I won't. There's nothing you can ever say to stop me from exacting my revenge. Yeah, you want a revenge arc? I want to sock these developers in the fucking face for stealing 200 hours from me right on stream. And in 10 years, you can go back and you can cite it because it's all on YouTube. In 10 years, when I'm in the court date over fucking threatening to punch some developer in the fucking face or whatever, I'll say, no, sir, you go back and consult January 2023. 10 years ago, I was ranting, you know, something like 4 or 5 hours a day about the developers and how much time they steal from me in quests like this. And, you know, and, yeah, you can just go back and cite 10 years. You want to know why I socked the motherfucker in the face or threatened to sock him in the face? You can go back and look at my shit from 2 years ago. Go back and look at my shit from 2 years ago when I was doing this same quest. 2 years ago. Lost 40, 50 hours then, too. 2 years ago. Right on stream. Right on my... I don't believe it's on YouTube. I don't believe it's on YouTube, unfortunately. But it will be in 10 years. And when I swing on the developer, if I ever step in the same room as them, I'll cite this. I'll cite this conversation. And I'll be like, yeah, nah, you can go back 10 years on the YouTube and watch how many times I did bury treasure right on stream. And how many hours it's stolen from me right on stream. It's stolen me stolen something like 16, 24... 30 hours, something like that, right on stream. One single quest has stolen 20 to 30 hours of my fucking time, right on stream too. And so if I ever see that fucking developer, I'm fucking swinging on him. I'll tell him why first, but I'm swinging on him. 110%. As certain as the day, as the sun will rise tomorrow, I'm swinging on him if I ever fucking see him for what they've done to me. And no, it's not about, oh, you could just go do something else. No. You guys have fucking snared me in a heroin hook. I've been a heroin addict, and it's not as addictive as this. You have snared me in a drug addict hook with your junk art. And you are a junk artist, and you did not polish it very well, and so I get stuck on your buried treasure quest sometimes 3-4 hours. How long has it been? 5-6 days in a row now I've gotten stuck on this quest for 4 or 5 hours. So let's just keep getting stuck on this one single quest over and over and over and over and over again. I have to like take breaks for my sanity and kind of rant for a bit and talk about how I'd like to really physically fucking hurt the developer who made this, who is punishing me with this right now. It's worse than waterboard. I feel like I would volunteer for Guantanamo Bay, and I mean this. This is not some exaggeration and stuff. I would volunteer for Guantanamo Bay, a day of Guantanamo Bay torture over the fucking 25 years of this. I would take Guantanamo Bay over this. It is much more humane. Much more humane. Guantanamo Bay is far more fucking humane than your jank. You know it is. And I'll hold you to fucking task for it. And if I ever step in the same room as you, I'm fucking swinging on you. Sure as the fucking sun rises tomorrow. So keep the buried treasure guy the fuck away from me. Keep him away from me. I'm dead serious. I'm fucking swinging on him. I've got a fucking real issue with them. You know, like a real one. So let's go bang my head against the quest for what? The 19th time this week? 5 days in a row now. We're gonna just keep trying to do this quest till we get through it. It's the worst thing I've ever encountered in my entire life, and it's affected my sanity. And I will take it out on someone else. I will. This is what happens when you've been abused so badly that you basically have to take that abuse out on either the person who did it to you or someone else, right? And so I've been abused by the developer for so fucking long. My time, my sanity, my interest, the repetition, the fucking banging my head against this wall of its buggy quest code and all this, and I can do Bethesda better than Bethesda, and I will absolutely harm a developer if they ever step in a room with me. For any of these MMO developers, for the time they've stolen from me, so just no E3 for me, no fucking BlizzCon, no fucking going to like Jeff Healy's like game show or any of that shit for me. No, I couldn't go to BlizzCon. I know what would happen. I'd swing on a developer. So yeah, because I am the worst victim of their industry. I'm the worst one, I guarantee. It has affected my sanity the most. I guarantee it. I'm the worst victim of the ravages of that fucking junk dealer industry. And I have to talk about it. Or I go insane. And I'm so used to it that I can't even get angry anymore. I'm so used to the anal torture abuse that is this quest. I've done it so many times on so many different systems in so many Bethesda games in so many different ways and watched entire saves, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100, 200, 300, 400 hour saves totally gone over a single fucking glitch quest. And yeah, if I ever see a Bethesda developer or anybody who'd ever fucking defend them, I'm fucking swinging on them. No shame, no guilt, no remorse. While they were taking me to jail, I'd be like, it was worth it. It was worth it. Take me to jail. It was fucking worth it. It was fucking worth it. Swinging on you, motherfucker. Don't you ever step foot in me in the same room as me. You are not allowed in Skycat in the same room as Skycat. Any developer, any video game developer, they're not allowed in the same room as me. What you guys have tortured us with, it's unacceptable. I would hit you where it hurts, take everything away from you. The amount of mental torture and anguish you have put me through with your addiction, with my addiction that you have put me through, and the amount of fucking bullshit and the amount of times I've done this quest just this week, not to mention how many times I've done this quest in my life. And I would like to I'd like to duct tape you to a chair, duct tape your fucking eyelids open, Bethesda developer, and I would like you to force you to watch all 400 fucking hours of me trying to complete this quest. I would torture you by forcing you, like we're talking Clockwork Orange levels of torture, and I would take relish in it, Bethesda developer. I don't want to know your name because then I might target you. You know what I'm saying? I would like to duct tape you to a chair and duct tape your fucking eyes open and force you to watch me do this quest over and over and over and over and over again for the 400 hours that it takes for me to complete this one single quest when you include the amount of times I had to restart it. And I would like to sue you as well. And no, I don't feel I'm being hyperbolic. I'm not screaming it. I mean what I say. I mean very much so what I say. I very much so mean what I say. Like, I mean what I say. Watch developers can't be in the same room as me. After the amount of torture and shit from Bethesda, yeah, if I ever catch a Bethesda developer in the same room, I'm swinging on you. Probably break some bones. I like threatening developers with physical violence and stuff and you want to know why? Watch. This is like the 11th time that I've gotten cock-blocked on this quest to the tune of something like 50 hours. On one single quest, you'd be that angry too, you piece of living shit. You piece of shit cocksucker developer. You'd be this fucking angry too. If you were this addicted and you were forced to do this for the rest of your fucking life like some kind of goddamn purgatory, and you guys can't even get a fucking quest right, I'll fucking hurt you. I will fucking hurt you. You deserve it too. You deserve it more than criminals who get thrown in jail do. You deserve it. You would deserve the punches in the fucking face. You deserve it a lot more than a lot of the fucking criminals that are in jail right now. You really deserve it. You steal hundreds of millions of hours of time. Do you pay us for this? No. Time is money, friend, is all the Blizzard and Bethesda cocksuckery keeps saying. Time is money, friend. What about the 100 million hours that you fucking stole from me with your inept bullshit, start the shit all over again quest design? If you think I'm being hyperbolic, watch me do it. You think I'm being hyperbolic? No. Watch me fucking do it, you pieces of living shit developers. I can't believe you do this to us. If I see you, I'm swinging on you. It's on. And you deserve it. Everybody else in the world, I can't think of anybody in the world who's deserving of physical violence except video game developers. Anybody in the world. Maybe some dictators and some killers and stuff, you know, but even shitty dictators like fucking Kim Jong-un, they don't steal the amount of hundreds of millions of hours that you do. They aren't as bad as you. They don't steal as many hundreds of millions of hours of my time, of mankind's time like you do. You're one of the worst criminals. Like most video game developers are some of the worst criminals in history with the amount of time that they steal with just janky ass bullshit. It's like, what happened? Where's the oversight? Where's the convictions? This was such a fascist world. You guys keep talking about how fascist the world is and all this. Well, where are the cops and where are the lawyers to take out these software developers who steal hundreds of millions of fucking hours from us? Where are they? No, they're out there trying to bust drug addicts, I guess. Fucking shithead retards, just like the software developers.
Just give Lou the word when you're ready.
Yin's ready or what? You got it. Stand back. Don't want no one standing in the blast zone.
I don't even know what this quest gives me. I don't even know what the next quest is. I don't know what the chain's for. I don't give two living shits about this. I just want the fucking quest to work. I want it to work. That's all. I don't give a shit about what it represents or what it means to the game or what you paid the voice actors or any of this stupid shit or how badly broken it is. I just want it to work like everything else, every other product that was ever sold. And on massive scale. I just want it to work. Why are software developers allowed to sell shoddy products? Why are they allowed to do it when no one else in the world is? Why? I want to see prosecutions and jail time for most of the executives at Bethesda and Blizzard, including Todd. And I mean what I say. I would like to see some jail time.
Fine, yeah.
Great.
You three go on ahead and take care of security. Gale, you're responsible for keeping Rara safe.
Rara always safe with Gale.
Got it, boss lady. Let's go.
7-6. Can I talk to you real quick? I gotta stay here and guard your butts till I'm confident we're in the clear, but got an important request for you. With Johnny asking for such a big cut, I want you to keep an eye on him. You let me know if he doesn't pull his weight. If he wants to keep his value, he's gotta earn it. Thanks. Okay.
Now, did Johnny glitch? Where is Johnny?
Looking forward to getting our hands on all that gold.
Warp drive active.
And I keep getting like this almost orgasmic pleasure from the idea of binding a Bethesda developer to a chair and taping their eyes open and forcing them to watch me do this. It's actually giving me like orgasmic levels of joy even thinking about it. Actual justice, right? It's like God's clean white light purity stuff, divine beauty. The idea of re-torturing a Bethesda developer seems like God's work. And that's how bad these software criminals have actually got. Torturing them seems like God's work. They're criminals. They need to be prosecuted. I really want them to be prosecuted for the amount of scam and theft and fraud they actually commit. I would like to see them prosecuted now. You want me to vote? You want me to vote? Continue voting for American politicians of any fucking party? You better fucking prosecute these fucking criminals. Or I'll just actively January 6th you every year until you fucking die, you know? You better start actively fucking prosecuting the real criminals. Not the drug addicts. Not the bums. I'm talking about the software bums. You better get to prosecuting the real fucking criminals and fixing the internet law now if you ever want me voting for you ever again, you shithead do-nothing asshole Congress cocksuckers. Fuck you, and fuck the software developers you wrote in on. Pieces of shit. Right up there with the government. And I want to say Bethesda special or that Fallout 76 sucks. No, this is the experience in every game. Like when I lost my hardcore character yesterday to 4 mobs over a fucking pickpocket fail. Instant. Before I could even respawn, jib dead. Gone. One-shots. Cock-sucking one-shots from worthless developers. You know, I would like to tape your eyes open and force you to watch while I get tortured by your games. It would be fitting. If a judge were to ask me in a court of law what I would want after they arrested you and actually prosecuted you for all the crimes and all the problems that you've caused me personally, right? They'd ask me, well, what would you do to reform this person? I would say oversight. I would like them to be forced to watch every time someone gets stuck on a quest for hours and hours and hours. I want the developer to be forced to watch in prison on a television screen in their prison cell. They should be forced to watch for thousands of hours while everybody deals with the bugs. You know what I'm saying? The developers should be forced to watch. I think it's kind of like most criminals, right? They don't hang around like murderers, kind of. They don't hang around and watch the damage of the code. Or what it does to people. They just kill the person and move on, right? Same thing with software development. They just do the bad code and move on. They don't care about what wreck of a life it leads, all that bad code and what it's done to my personality and my outlook and how much I hate Microsoft and all this. They don't think about that. They don't think about how really, really dirty they are. And I believe they should be prosecuted. I don't know any heroin junkies with a bad drug problem like mine. I've got an addiction to video games. Oh my god. And so, no, I'm not going to stop. I've got the worst addiction known to man. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep coming back to my junk dealer and trying to solve the buggy quest that doesn't work. Which is why Bethesda should be prosecuted now by the US government. You built a generation of fucking drug addicts. Except the drugs you make don't work. You voluntarily made us into drug addicts, but the drugs you made don't work. You put fentanyl in them and Starfield. And so I'm as angry as at you as I am at them. I'm just as angry at you. And you keep dealing your junk problem free. There's never been a conviction or even a lawsuit. You keep dealing your junk and fucking children. And skating on that billion-dollar industry that makes 10 times the amount of money than anybody else has ever made in the history of mankind. And there's been 0 prosecutions, 0 convictions. It's a lawless space. And the children and the drug addicts are shat all over every single day. And I would like to chain the fucking Bethesda software developer to a chair, duct tape their fucking eyelids open, and force them to watch for the 110 million hours they stole this year. Force them to watch the jank that they actually cause. I believe what I say, or I wouldn't say it. You know? I believe fundamentally what I'm saying. Like in a really deep way, you know? So let's go back and try this quest again. Maybe the 85 time, or well, I don't know. What am I at now? 140th time. Maybe 140th time will be the trick. You know. Are you gonna kill this Salvi, or? Because you seem to be on him, but not doing anything. Are you gonna kill this Salvi, or... You can't. You can't kill the Salvi. The drone can't hit the drone for some reason. Maybe I can. Wow. Cool. Nice pop aggro when I zoned in. Great design, Bethesda. Thanks for that. I really like it.